2025 is a little bit weird, especially when you consider how people are spending their money. As a pool contractor, you're probably looking at things like, how's our industry doing? I was recently having a conversation with somebody who had looked at how many permits bigger companies here in Phoenix pulled, and the numbers are way down in 2025 versus 2024. Now, this is not good news for most of you guys, but I'm going to share 3 secrets from a marketing perspective that I would implement and that I'm helping my clients implement so that we can come out on top, even though less people are spending money on swimming pools. Let's get right into it. So here's the thing. Pricing has kind of peaked and people are being a little more stingent with their money, opportunities are less, and it's just a harder time to sell luxury items. So if you could do 3 things differently in your business that would help you still make more money during these times, would you do it? Right, you probably would, of course. It's not going to be super easy, but these small changes are things that you should make so that you can still come out on top. And my phone is kind of being crazy, so we'll see if it actually works. But the 3 things are add value, get super narrow, and come up with some kind of reoccurring model. Why do you want to do those 3 things? Well, customers don't buy just because of price. There's a lot of other things that encourage them to buy, right? And so you want to be able to add value to their lives, make their lives easier so they like you and trust you. The whole goal here is separating yourselves from the competition. These are all there's a ton of pool builders. There's so many, and they all do the same thing. They all build nice looking pools. Now, there's some of these guys that absolutely suck over here, but don't worry about them. You're still competing with all of these guys who do good work, who are similarly priced to you. So you want to add value in the customer's life so that now you're over here because you're adding value, right? And these guys are over here just doing the same shit. You do not want to lump yourselves in. So what does add value mean? Well, add value means make their life easier. Really, what people want nowadays is information more than anything. They don't want to install the pool. They don't want to build the pool, but they want to understand where their money's going, why it costs so much, and how things work. Because I think a lot of times we felt left in the dark. And now with instant gratification, AI, we've got things right at our fingertips, and we just want to know how things work. Not because we're going to do anything about it. We're lazier than ever, but we're more curious than ever. And so for my clients, one big thing that we're doing is adding value by educating them, explaining prices, explaining what goes into it. So when I say add value, I'm talking about educating. Educate them. Tell them why, how, what, and be bold and have recommendations. You are the expert and you want to add value to their life. So what does this look like? This is your content. Guess what? Everyone's creating content, but no one's creating content like you because they're not you. Because the way that you explain things, your values, your beliefs, your knowledge, your skill set, all of those things are slightly different. So you want to pour that into content so that people can start to see what you're about, who you are, why you do what you do, how good you are at what you do, and add value to their lives. Now, the second thing is to get narrow. And what do I mean about get narrow? Well, one of the things that I'm working with one particular client on is pricing. On his website, he says, we have pricing for everybody. And I think this is a big mistake. My opinion. When I used to do marketing for everybody and I would just yeah, sure, I can do your marketing. My prices were a quarter of what they are now. They were super cheap and I still had people saying no. I thought, I'm doing this for everybody. Why doesn't everyone say yes? Because it doesn't, if it's for everybody, it's for nobody, right? And so what I had to figure out is how I could specifically help one type of person with one way of doing it. And then the price goes up and the value goes up. And so in this example, we're working with just luxury, custom, nice, designs. Now, Shasta took a different route. I think I just saw Shasta just started doing fiberglass. So they went a step down. They're like, yeah, we got fiberglass. We have these packages. We have our done with you. We have our hybrid. We have our custom. They have all these things. Now, Shasta is huge, but I just still don't think that's a good model because you're not really going to reach anybody. And when you're you're small, you're between 1 and 5 million, you want to be able to really talk to people and say, hey, look, we work with people just like you. You don't want the headache of inconsistency. You don't want the headache of a messy yard. You don't want the headache of shit all in front of your house, right? We don't do any of that. A lot of these guys will, because they're on a budget, because they're working really fast. They're hiring random guys. They're not like us. Do you think that that would speak to a higher client? Do you think that would speak higher to them and like get them excited to work with you instead of work with somebody else? Probably. But if you showed up to a quote like that and you said, yeah, no, like, you know, we've done projects like this, we've done projects like this, we've done a few projects like yours, and we can definitely get it done. It's like, okay, well, you know, you've done the projects, but it doesn't feel for me, you know, and there's a psychology side to it. And so and I'm not saying you have to go high ticket luxury. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying pick one thing. Is it cheap $45,000 pools? Like, is that the narrow? Like, if you just sold this, you know, as a stipulation, there's like, hey, you know, if it's this far, if there's not easy access, blah, 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 then the price goes up. But if you just sold this, do you know how easy that would be? Like, you can speak directly to the person that would spend $45,000 on this pool. It's not the person that would spend $150,000, $200,000 on a backyard or $500,000 on something custom. It's a whole different type of person. But now your marketing is hyper specific. You're creating hyper specific marketing to one type of person. But if you say, hey, we only work with people to do $200,000 projects, here's why. We only use natural stone. All of our stuff is fully custom. We do really good 3D designs. We do a free water feature is included in whatever this package is. Like, that's a whole different thing. And so when you get really narrow with this, your marketing becomes more efficient and the value that you provide resonates more with the customer. So add value, get narrow. The third thing is a reoccurring model. Now, I think this is something that's should have taken over the industry sooner, but it hasn't yet. But it's something everyone's moving to. And the reason for that is it's a stacking revenue model. Now, you're probably saying, well, how do I do a reoccurring model on pools? That is a great question. I haven't fully figured that out, but I know there's options. There's things that you can do. And it wouldn't be necessarily on the pools, but it would be a subsidized thing on it. So there's a few different options here. Like option number one that one client in particular we're working on is, I would call it like a linear service. And what that is just another service that we can sell that's recurring after we sell a backyard or after we sell a pool. Okay. And so, you know, a few examples of that would be partnering or starting your own pool cleaning company, right? Hey, since we built your pool, we're normally $100 a month. Now we're $50 a month. This is your subscription. We come out, we keep the pool clean, we change the filters, whatever. You hire one tech and just scale it as it goes. You get people added on. Now, that revenue isn't going to be that good until you've got it stacked. You know, you've got it really stacked up over time. You think about how many pools you've built in your lifetime. And if each one was still paying you $50 to $100 a month for maintenance, you've got some reoccurring on the back end. Maybe it's free quarterly filter changes. Maybe it's a $99 a month peace of mind guarantee. If anything goes wrong with your pool or your backyard, we'll replace it for free. Like, imagine that. You install pavers. They spend $15,000 on pavers in their backyard. And you say, hey, for $100 a month, if anyone cracks, if anything sinks, like if you have any issues with it, we'll come out and replace it. And, no questions asked. We'll also provide free turf cleaning every quarter or some shit like that. Like, you've got to get creative, because here's the thing. This model of hunt, kill, hunt, kill, hunt, kill is exhausting. You spend all your money on marketing to acquire one person, you make some money, and then you move on. Like this, it sucks. Like, it just, like I said, imagine you do 100 pools a year or something like that. That's $5,000 of just that reoccurring at 50, which is probably unrealistic. We'll say $10,000 because you do $100 a month for the pool cleaning, right? That's $10,000 year one, but then that 10,000 is still there, and then that's 20, and now then it's 30, and then it just keeps scaling with it. But then you add the service guarantee or the replacement guarantee or whatever, some kind of reoccurring model. I don't know. You gotta either get with me, we'll strategize, or get with your marketing team. Oh shit, I wasn't even screen recording, but all I did was write 10,000. wrote 10,000 here. And then how that stacks. But like you just want to strategize a little bit more because like I said, the hunt kill method is killing a lot of businesses. It's just really hard to do. And if you have these people, what are some other things that you can sell them? Like if they've had enough trust with you and had a half decent experience on a $50,000 plus project, do you think doing permanent lighting or Christmas tree or Christmas holiday lighting, holiday decoration, things like that, like do you think those are other services? Power washing, like what are the other services that you can partner with in a JV with another business, or you can just do a branch of your business? Like what are other services there that you can do with them so that now the business, the hunt kill feeds that reoccurring revenue? Like I know guys that have been in business 20, 30 years, and if they had been slowly building up some kind of cheap, for easy to forget, reoccurring model, it would stack up to be really the primary thing of the business. You know you have that money coming in, like you know, based off of just the reoccurring service or whatever, our staff is paid for, our office is paid for, like whatever it is, that takes the pressure off. Now you have money to go towards marketing. Now you can offer, different packages, different offers and stuff on the main thing that you sell because you're stacking that. Like I was at a event and I heard the guy, pest control guy, he started a cleaning company after the pest control company that just went to like, I don't know, $6 million in their first year or something like that. But he was creating packages with other businesses where, hey, you get cleaning with us. Here's a discount on your first month of pest control. Here's a discount on your first month of grocery delivery or whatever it is. But that could be something where now it's a $500 a month service, but they've got their pool cleaning, they've got their pest control covered, they've got quarterly pressure washing, dumpster washing, like all that stuff. Now you're selling like a premium service. You pay out of that. Maybe you pay the pest guy to do it, you pay another guy, whatever, if you don't want to build it in-house. But just like start to think outside the box, because this whole hunt kill method is going to be really, really hard to fulfill in years to come. And so those are my three hot take opinions of things to work on to separate your business from the competition, especially in 2025, because things are getting weird and less people are spending money. You want to position yourself as the expert authority now so that over time, you don't have to worry about where you're going to find your next customer or them going with the cheapest guy or the best guy, because you are the best guy. Okay. If you have any questions on it, let's talk. There's a discovery call in the description, and we'll talk soon.